up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full Pokemon Crystal team. This one is for Patreon. If you'd like your theme team done, you can check it out in the description of the video under the Patreon link. Ryan, this one is for you. So this was my very first Pokemon Crystal team that I could remember as best as I could. And man, I had some really good battles this one, so make sure you guys stick around for the whole video. Question of the day, people. What is your favorite main series Pokemon game? I really want to know what the most popular one is, so leave it below in the comment section. I'd love to hear what it will be. For me, it was definitely... I'm more inclined to say Pokemon Silver than Crystal because I got that first, but they're basically the same game except for extra. So I'll go Pokemon Silver. Put that below. I'm just putting that below in the comment section. Anyway, people, this was a battle on my chat. This was against Jake. So we have a Quillfish lead here. There wasn't a lot Quags I could actually do to it. I was actually running a special set. Now, all the moves I wanted to run were from Gen 2, so these were all Gen 2 Virtual Console Pokemon, which made it really fun to make this team. So, unfortunately, Quillfish is going to go for the Scald on the swap-in. I thought it might go for something like Toxic Spice. Anyway, so on this set, this is a physical Typhlosion. We've got on this Thunder Punch with the Electrium Z. I've got Fire Punch, and I've got Dynamic Punch, a cool move from Gen 2. And I've also got Fire Blast too, so it's sort of like a mixed attacker. Anyway, so going for the Gigavolt Havoc on the Quillfish. I was hoping this didn't actually have Focus Sash. It had something like, it was bulky set with like Black Sludge or something. Unfortunately for me, it does have Focus Sash and it lives on like 1 health. Anyway, so it's going to activate that. I know that I can live another Scald if it's not a critical hit. If it is, my Typhlosion is definitely going down. So fortunately for me, that doesn't happen. And now Typhlosion can actually take out the Quillfish. I just went for Thunder Punch here. However, we have the Quillfish swapping out and we have the Venusaur coming in. So Venusaur is going to be able to easily resist that. However, I can go for another fire move after it, so it's not all that bad. So it's going to have the Leftovers Recovery, and it's going to basically heal off half the damage that my Thunder Punch did. So going for the Fire Punch now. However, the Venusaur is going to go for Protect, so it's going to get all of its health back with the Leftovers Recovery. So that's fine. That's cool. Now, Typhlosion's EVs were Max Attack and Max Speed, but even with Max Attack, it really wasn't that good, to be fair. Like, it's even with, like, hindering Special Attack, it wasn't actually too far. So go for the Fire Punch, just missing the KO there, and now Venusaur is actually going to go for the Leech Seed on my Typhlosion, which is going to be enough to actually take me out, and it's going to get some health recovery too. So it's going to have the Leftovers and the Leech Seed as well. I was thinking I could bring in my Quagsire and go for the Ice Beam against that and take it out. But then again, I was thinking, well, it's got Protect too, so it's going to go, obviously it's going to go for Protect the next turn and get some more Leftovers recovery before I attack it. So I thought, let's swap in Stantler this time. Now, this Stantler set was pretty fun. On this set, we got a physical attacker, Max Attack, Max Speed. We've got Curse on this set with the White Herb. So we've got Curse to boost the attack and defense, mainly to boost the attack, and I've got White Herb to get rid of the speed drop. Now, on this set, I always remember with Stantler, right, it always used, like, can you remember, like, when you first seen it, like, it hypnosis you, then it'd stomp you to death, like... Oh, I just remember my childhood memories there. So on this set, I've got Curse, Headbutt from the Headbutt dude, and I've got Thief for Ghost types after the White Herb has been consumed, and I've also got Earthquake for Steel types too. So Venusaur is going to go down to that, which is good. Now Quillfish is going to come in. I know that I'm going to be able to take this one out quite easily, but obviously it's going to drop my attack with Intimidate. So basically getting rid of my Curse boost that I gave it earlier. But that's fine, I'm going to get rid of the Quillfish. The whole idea is to basically flinch the opponent too with Headbutt and just keep flinching them. And if you do want to get a little bit bulky, you can and go for another Curse. But mainly I'm just getting that initial one-off for an attack boost. So now we got Vikavolt coming in. I'm going to go for the Headbutt, hoping I can get a flinch on Vikavolt. It's got very big special attack. And it does pretty good amounts of damage. Guillotine misses. It's a scummy Guillotine set. So now I'm going to go for Thief this time. So I wonder what items. So I've probably got like Focus Band. Let's see what this says. I'm going to steal the Expert Belt. So I'm like, oh, that's not actually that good with Headbutt. It might work on my other moves. So now it's going to hit me with a Thunderbolt. And it's going to paralyze me at the same time. Bugger. So now Stantler, even with Vikavolt, is paralyzing me. I was actually still able to outspeed it, do some more Headbutt damage, and I don't flinch either. And it's going to take me out with a Thunderbolt. So my Headbutt flinching didn't work at all, unfortunately. Obviously, it's all luck-based. But Stantler's going to go down, but did a good job taking out the Venusaur and really severely hurting the Vikavolt. So now, the Skarmory. I actually don't have Stealth Rocks on this one, guys. This was a sweeping physical set too. So we got Max Health and Max Attack. We've got Steel Wing. This Pokemon sets were really, really barren back in Gen 2, and I really like Skarmory as like a cool Pokemon. So we got Steel Wing, Fly, Agility, and Frustration. The moves you could get in Gen 2 were very, very limited. So Incineroar's going to come in and activate my Weak Armor. Obviously, I ran Max Health so I could get some more bulk, and I could get the weak armor to make up for my running no speed investments. Also, I've got weakness policy on this too, so the Incineroar actually activated both of those things. So now I'm going to go for the Fly. Steel Wing's not going to be able to take it out, and Frustration is definitely not going to be able to take it out either. And I'm going to go for the Fly and take out the Incineroar there. So Fly Skarmory, people. I like to run Fly over Stealth Rock sometimes. So now we've got the Moo coming out, and this Pokemon caused me a hell of a lot of trouble. Let's see what happens. Right, so go for Fly. I knew that I'd be able to outspeed it because I got the weak armor up. Plus, I got a weakness policy. This is going to hit really hard. Attract is going to miss because I'm flying in the air. And going for the Fly now, and it misses on the Miltank. I'm like, okay. I think this has Bright Powder. So now it's going to hit me with the Attract. So I'm infatuated. All I got to do is hit it with one move. So I went for the Steel Wing. Steel Wing missed too. And now the Miltank's going to use Thunder Wave. So it's paralyzed me and it's attracted me. So now it's going to be able to outspeed me. It's obviously a flinching set with Zen Headbutt. It's going to activate my weak armor, making me like even weaker in defense. And obviously going to try and flinch me, paralyze me, and do all those things. So I was actually able to get a Steel Wing through all of that, which was nice. Doing some serious damage, and they've got Milk Drink as well, so they're just going to keep healing themselves up. So I've got to basically take this out in one shot. I'm going to get paralyzed again. Now the Zen Headbutt is going to get me down to 18 health. Give me another weak armor. The only good thing about weak arm was it actually was allowing me to outspeed it, even though I was paralyzed. Steel Wing misses again. It definitely is a Bright Powder Miltank, and that's my Skarmory down. Ugh. So now swapping in my Noctowl. It's going to use Attract against me. So this Noctowl was MVP, right? Now, I might have done an upload around this team as well tonight. Just depends. I may have done an upload earlier on. If you haven't already seen that, if it's on my channel, you should definitely check it out. So this upload will be probably about 3 or 4 hours before this video comes out. So with the Noctowl there, I really couldn't do much except putting it to sleep. Now swapping in my Suicune. Now this Suicune was a Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Mud Slap, Mirror Coat set with also had Bright Powder on that. So I thought I could run Bright Powder for Bright Powder because they're being scum. Unfortunately, the Hydro Pump fails to take out the Miltank, and it's going to keep going for the Milk Drinks. And basically, it's PP stalling out my Hydro Pumps there. So I landed another one, which was really good, but Milk Drink has more PP than Hydro Pump, and Hydro Pump is not hitting all the time. So I thought, well, I can go into my Quagsire, right? I need to take this Pokemon out in one shot. So going into Quagsire, and now I'm going to set up the Rain Dance. This is actually a special attacking Quagsire, if you probably didn't already guess. So the rain is up. Miltank's going to go for Zen Headbutt and flinch me. There's nothing really Quagsire can do to Miltank at all. So going back into my Suicune, hoping I can land the Hydro Pump and take this thing out in one blow. So I get paralyzed again. Finally, Hydro Pump breaks through and takes out that Miltank. Oh, that was so annoying. And the rain stops on that turn too, so I'm like, oh, that was really close. So the last Pokemon is the Mismagius. I'm going to go for Mirror Coat here, because commonly it's a special attacker. It's going to go for Charge Beam, so that's good. That's going to be super effective. Does a little bit of damage to me, not like a hell of a lot, but still does some nice damage. Now, Mirror Coat does ignore accuracy modifiers as well, so if it had like Bright Powder on this again, it's going to be able to hit. So it does 3/4 damage. That's really, really good. I didn't want to go for Hydro Pump because, one, I knew that it wasn't going to take it out, and two, it could have missed. So that's going to take me out with the T-Bolt. Now, things aren't looking too good because Noctowl is weak to Thunderbolt. Quagsire isn't, but I know it's going to have Shadow Ball, and I've already lost some health, and its special defense isn't the greatest in the world. As I was running a max health set. So, it's going to go for Shadow Ball. It does pretty good damage to me. Now going for the Surf. This is a Modest Quagsire. Even with Modest, its special attack is really bad. Mismagius' special attack is actually, its special defense is actually really decent. And it's going to live on like, I don't know, 3 health or something. And it's going to take me out with the Shadow Ball. So that's my Quagsire down. My last hope is Noctowl. Now on this set, I had Hyper Beam. I had Hypnosis, Nightmare, and yeah, and that was basically it. This set really couldn't do too much apart from putting the opponent to sleep with Hypnosis. And I've got Dream Eater as the other move. So Hypnosis lands, thank goodness, and I'm able to get that on the Mismagius. Oh my goodness, that was so lucky. If I missed that, that was game. Like Thunderbolt was a 2-hit KO. Okay, so it's going to be asleep. Thankfully, it doesn't wake up, and now I can go for the Nightmare to take out the Mismagius, and that is game. Man, that was really, really close battle there at the end. And Nightmare does that fixed amount of damage. Plus, it's always fun finishing off a battle with Nightmare. So, that's the Mismagius down. That was a really close battle. That Miltank made things very, very difficult. My Skarmory looked at a very good position earlier on, sweeping through the team. But that Bright Powder Miltank, oh my goodness. So, the next battle we have, this one was against Scylla. Now, using the same team, obviously. And we have a Zubat lead. Good to see Zubat being lead. Now, this is actually a theme team as well, so see if you can guess it. So running things off with the Quagsire. Let me explain this set a little bit more. I didn't get to use him that much in the first battle. So this was a Rain Dance, Surf, Ice Beam, and Sludge Bomb set. Got that back then. We've got Rindo Berry as the item too. So Zubat go for the Brave Bird. It's about a 3-hit KO against me. So going for the Rain Dance so I can power up my Surf a little bit on the Quagsire, and also can help out my Suicune's Hydro Pump too. Now, with the Quagsire, it didn't have the greatest moves on the special side, so yeah, these were the best things I could really give it. So now it's going to go for another Brave Bird on my Quagsire. It's, as I said, it's a 3-hit KO, so the next one's going to take me out. Now I'm going to go for the Surf in the Rain, which is probably going to do around the same as Ice Beam anyway, to the Zubat. And Zubat isn't the most, it's not the most bulkiest Pokemon in the world, and that is going to take it out. I like that nickname too, that's good. So that's down. What Pokemon are we going to see next? It's going to be the Licky. So you might be able to start seeing the theme now. It took me a little while to figure out. Like I had like an idea what it could be. Like it could have been a couple things. So now we got Licky. Even with the rain on the field, Licky is immensely bulky, and Surf does like donkeys. Now, there wasn't much I could do with my Quagsire. There was really no point in swapping it out, so I decided to stay in and just do as much damage with Surf as possible. And now the Quagsire is going to get hit by the Toxic. Usually Quagsire is more of a stalling Pokemon, but this wasn't, so it didn't really worry me at all. I was just trying to get some damage. So that's pretty good, getting close to half health with the damage. Now Quagsire is obviously going to go down to the next move from the Licky. So Licky is going to go for a rest, healing itself up to full, so that's kind of annoying. I was like, okay, well, it's probably going to have rest, sleep, talk. So it's got rest, sleep, talk, and toxic, right? So it's like, okay, that's interesting. Maybe it's got some other move. But instead of sleep talk, it's got the Chester Berry, which is going to wake it up straight away. I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb to actually get a poison here. That was kind of my whole goal from the start. And again, I was like, sweet. Now, it's so funny. I was having a battle, and a Whimsicott come out, right? I was like, oh, what am I going to do this? Then I was like, I put Sludge Bomb on it because it has really average like coverage. There's no real things you could go for. And it absolutely wrecked the Whimsicott. It was so funny, and the Rindo Berry kicked in, and it was amazing. So this is a Wrap, Toxic, Rest, Licky. So a really annoying and bulky set that I'm going to get rid of. However, I do have that poison on it, which is nice. So if the Licky wants to heal up or get rid of that poison, it's going to have to go to sleep again. So swapping in my Typhlosion, going for a risky Dynamic Punch. It misses, unfortunately. It's going to have Scummy Water as the other item. So obviously this is another, I'm sick of these accuracy lowering moves as I use Mudslap. Anyway, so that's going to do about half health to me, and the Toxic is racking up very nicely. All I really got to do is land one Dynamic Punch. I could go for the Fire Punch, but I want to get that Dynamic Punch off, maybe. So now the Licky is going to go for yet another Scummy Water on my Typhlosion, and that's not going to be enough to take it out, but I just live on the 6 health, and I don't get to actually drop, which is good too. Okay, so I was more thinking, well, I've gone the full length, let's go for Dynamic Punch, and now it actually hits. I'm like, yes! I hit it right in the Wi-Fi signal, and that, guys, the Licky's Wi-Fi signal sort of dropped out there. Alright, so that's down. We've still got 4 Pokemon to deal with. So we got this Manectric, which was a royal pain in the backside the whole battle. I really couldn't do much except for go for the Fire Punch. It's going to outspeed and go for Volt Switch, take him out. So I wasn't sure, is that going to be, it could be Choice Specs or Choice Scarf. One of those 2 items could be an option there, which always runs, fairly well with Volt Switch. So now we have the Lunatone coming out. You probably can guess what the theme team is by now, and I've got my Skarmory, so I thought, this isn't a bad matchup. I could go for the Steel Wing. That should do some nice damage to Lunatone. Alright, so Steel Wing lands, which is cool, does over half health. I'm happy with that one. And now Lunatone's going to go for the Power Gem on Skarmory. I do have max health, so I do tank that rather well. However, the Lunatone's going to have some leftover recovery. So I know the second one's going to be enough to take it out. I was thinking, should I go for the Agility here, or should I go for Steel Wing? They decided to actually swap out and go into Manectric. I decided to go for Steel Wing to get some damage off, and now Manectric is going to take a Steel Wing, which doesn't really do too much damage, but I guess, it was better than nothing. Unfortunately for me, it's going to get a static, so that's really annoying because my weak armor isn't going to come into effect much in this battle. So I just kept the Skarmory in, and it's going to go down to the Volt Switch. It really is, it's a kind of difficult once it gets paralyzed. It doesn't work as well as planned, especially when you've only got a very limited physical move pool to use. So Skarmory's down, half my team's down there, and now we've got the Staryu coming in. What Staryu going to do? I've got my Stanton. I thought, well, I might be able to get some nice headbutt action going here. So Staryu is going to get withdrawn, and now we're going to have the Lunatone coming back in, obviously expecting a normal type move. I actually went for I was thinking here, I could go for the Curse here to try and boost my attack, and then go for the Thief to try and take it out and get that leftovers would be really nice. So I thought I can Curse up, get that attack boost, get a defense boost, get rid of those boosts with a white herb, then thief that leftovers, which would be really handy. So the leftovers, that would sustain my, sustain me a little bit after some damage. If I can keep getting those headbutt flinches right. It was all sort of RNG based. So now the Lunatone's going to go for the pain split, which is going to give it a bit of health back and kind of annoying. So now I'm going to go for Thief this turn. So it's got that leftovers, which has got almost 3/4 of its health back, right? So Stantler is going to go for Thief and steal those leftovers finally and take out this bulky Lunatone. Just missing the KO there, unfortunately. I've got the leftovers, which is good. And now the Lunatone's going to go for the Toxic. So it's more of a, I guess it's like a defensive set or whatever. Like it might have been like max health, max special attack, something like that. Or just, I don't know, like max health, max special defense, or max health, max defense, something like that. Any of those are support type of builds. So now Stantler can just go for the Thief or Headbutt to take it out. Doesn't really matter. And that is Lunatone finally down. So I was happy with that. It's quite I guess that was more of the stally Pokemon on the team as well as the Licky Licky. So getting some nice leftovers recovery. That's going to help a little bit with the Toxic, but not too much as the Toxic starts to rack up damage as the turns go. So we have the Manectric coming in. I was thinking I could go for Earthquake here. I haven't actually revealed that move at all. However, they're going to go for the Volt Switch on me and outspeeding me. Of course, I just live on 6 health. I'm like, damn. I would have liked to actually get a hit on that thing, but I think it could be Choice Scarf at the point. And unfortunately for me, Solrock comes in and Earthquake's not going to affect it. I'm not sure if they predicted that because I didn't actually reveal I had Earthquake until now. Maybe they just swapped that in because they didn't want to swap in their Staryu. I'd say that was more probably the reason. But my Stantler is down, unfortunately. I could have gone for Headbutt then too, and it would have done Monkeys to Solrock anyway. So I guess Thief would have been the best option there. So anyway, swapping in Suicune, go for the Hydro Pump against this, and it misses! Oh. And now the Solrock is going to go for an Explosion. I'm like, oh, here we go. It's probably going to have normal jab. It's going to do like a lot of damage to me because I'm running a sweeping Suicune. And it takes me down to 42 health. Now, that was really, really important there that I actually had full health against the Manectric, as I'll explain now. So I knew the Manectric would come out against the Suicune, right? I was going to go for the Mirror Coat and absolutely just demolish the next Pokemon that comes in. However, it's going to be in range to take me out with the Volt Switch. So that's Suicune down. I was actually kind of waiting for that Suicune and Manectric matchup as the last two Pokemon so I could use Mirror Coat, right? Anyway, so we have the Staryu coming out. I've only got one more Pokemon left, and it's the MVP himself, Noctowl. So Noctowl can go for the Hypnosis and try and put this Staryu to sleep. So I'm going to get flinched by the Waterfall, physical Staryu overpowered, and finally the Hypnosis hits. Now, they could simply swap out, but they probably don't want to swap into this Noctowl because it's actually fairly powerful. So we've got a Hyper Beam on this. We've got Nightmare and Dream Eater. So finally taking out that Staryu with the Dream Eater, and that is down. So the last Pokemon is the Manectric. I was kind of semi-confident that I could live this with the bulk I invested in the Noctowl. I did have enough health left too. However, it's going to go for the Volt Switch, and that's going to be just enough, I think, to take me out. I was going to go for the Hyper Beam and take it out. But that is game. I hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. Special bonus battle at the end of this video. Make sure you check it out. Peace.